C with gunmetal crystal edge technology screens. Soon I am going to be placing an order because we know no tests were done. There's no point in basically, I don't even know why I even tried to entertain the thought. Excuse me about that, because I know no tests were ever done on a product. You can't test a product that doesn't exist. Sorry about that, people. Hold on for a minute. Let's make sure, because I don't like to say things that I'm not 100% sure. I like to make sure I'm sure on something before I actually make that statement. So let's just try to entertain the benefit of the doubt and bring my stand back over here so we can hit a little better here. There we go. Let's see. Because I don't like to say things that, oops, and jump to conclusions, and that'd be wrong to do. As I told you before, the product should have been tested. It should have been tested before the product was ever sold. Because again, how do you know how this stuff's going to work, how it's going to react, and white levels and color levels and contrast and different forms of projectors? How do you know how all this is going to work if there's no test on the product? You can't just say it's going to work. You have to test it because it could work in one section and fail in another. So you don't know. Let me see. Also, too, even though I bought this product already before, I'm going to be ordering the CINEMAX. And the reason why, because a demonstration that was done, we claimed that the product didn't match gray paint. And mind you, we just saw this stuff match Network Gray 773. So I'm going, and he never did that demonstration again once he did that little scheme. But I am going to buy this CINEMAX also, which I hate to spend $50 for something that, gee whiz, it's going to be the same as Network Gray. It's a waste of money. Chances are, the items will be canceled out. I know that from the door. He can't back the product, so they will be canceled out. We know that already. Just don't commit any more mail fraud, because again, this right here gets you into a lot of trouble. Let's go over here. I want to pull up. Let me see if he did any of the tests on these products at all. Now, keep in mind, I said I'm going to be placing my order really soon. It's coming here. I'm not going to have anybody else pick it up. It's coming here. So I'll be ordering it directly through here. Do not tamper with it. Don't put anything in weird in it. None of that nonsense that you do. You know, you don't do things honestly. That's one of the reason why you have 2 accounts of mail fraud. Those you don't know, I'm actually filling out the paperwork. Where's my letter anyway? Just got that letter from the United States Postal Service. There we go. Is it? No, that's not it. Turn up it all over here. So I went down and got 2 of these. We have 2 accounts of mail fraud against Jaime. This is the first one. We got a second one. This is my official application, well, actually my complaint form that I'm going to be filling out today and taking it over Monday morning to begin the process for mail fraud. So you can see this is just not an envelope with nothing in it. This is actually from the post office inspection office, from basically us receiving 2 accounts of mail fraud from the individual. Do not make this 3. Don't do that, because this will get you in a lot of trouble. You already got 2 accounts already. You're already in investigation for 2 accounts of mail fraud. Do not make it 3. So I would advise you to send over exactly what I purchased and what I ordered. If you cannot fulfill the order, if you don't have the capability because your product is not real, then you cancel the order and you put the money back into my banking account. That's what you do. If you try to hold on to it, because we've been through this before, he'll try to sit on the money and not do anything, ignore the order. I will go through PayPal. I will file a complaint against you. And in the complaint, I will request for you to ship the item. It's up to you if you want to either ship the item or give us back our money. Chances are we're getting back our money. And then I will have number 20, I think 20 returns. So, okay, I'm going to go pop in and look through his search before I make this statement, because I don't like to make statements about things that are not true, to see if he did any form of testing on this product. The reason why we call this a scam shopping cart, because there's no demonstrations, there's no videos, there's nothing on the product. It doesn't exist. And if this is where we're going to, we're getting to the point where people are going in and basically making products. If they're making products that are what's the word for it? That there's no testing. They're just making up make-believe products and sticking it in their shopping cart. That's going to be a lot of trouble for a lot of people at the end of the day because you're buying something that has no testing. It doesn't even exist at all, period. So you want to make sure whatever you're purchasing does exist. Let me see. Also, too, question. You named it the Alpha. Alpha as in what? Because the name that you have for your product here is basically under a car. That would be a car at the end of the day. I'm going to take the whole thing. That would literally be a car. Let me see. Find any tests or anything in this product. I guess we'll be the first. Nope. No tests. Nothing done. Not a thing. Nothing done at all. Period. Nothing. You haven't done any tests on your product. So guess what that means, Jamie? We'll start the process of purchasing. I will be the CINEMAX, Hyper and Mix. All of them will be coming here. Now, keep in mind, you claim you test our product. How can you test my products? You don't purchase from us. We don't have any receipts or nothing from you at all. You've never purchased, well, we only purchased one item from me, and that's it. But you don't buy from me at all, period. So I don't know where you're getting these imaginary items. You can explain that in court with my attorneys and a judge when you did these fake reviews against my product, where you were getting these items from, because you weren't buying from us, because we don't have any orders from you at all, period. And I know all my orders. If an order came over from you, I think I would have announced it, made it known, just like the 2.0. You're going to court for that because you basically violated a batch number that came out of a 5-gallon container. So no, you don't own any of our products, just the one product, and that's all. And keep in mind, if I send anything to you, it'll have a signature confirm attached to it. So you'll have to sign for it like you did the first one. So you're doing fake demonstrations against our products. Keep in mind, Jamie, my products are all tested. If I ever have to go to court for any accusations, and this is why no one takes me to court, is because I can walk into a courtroom just like walk on site and I can back my products 100%. You, on the other hand, can't do this. If someone puts a claim against you that your product matches house paint, how would you back this? You can't. You don't have any tests. And then you did do tests. You did one. Actually did 2 of them, and you matched. So yeah, it is what it is. And consider the fact that I don't know why you're still pushing on trying to get people to buy your products. Buddy, you matched house paint. Your website is a huge scam. And that whatever dark, there's no videos on it. There's nothing there. So somehow you made an imaginary product that doesn't even exist. Now, if you're saying it's the Frankenstein and it's an upgrade version, then you have to show why it's the upgrade version. That's like someone coming up with the 2 versions of the PS5 and saying, oh, yeah, this is the PS5, but this is also the PS5. This is the upgrade version. Well, they both look the same. How would this be an upgrade version? What's different from this one from that one? Make you have to show that at the end of the day. So since you don't have that proof, that product is nothing more than just the original old product with just a new picture attached to it. That's it. And that's what we're going to test when we get it down here. We're going to be testing this on white levels. We're going to be testing this against high-end certified screens. We're going to be testing this against color levels, fully lit environments, outside capabilities. I'm even brought up the Chrissy LX700. That is my 6,500 lumen venue projector. If he doesn't pick up on that machine, he can't pick up on jack. That's a venue. That's a big boy venue. So that one came out of storage over here. I'm actually going to be installing a new lamp in it in probably in about an hour. So from now, I got to put the lamp into it so we can get that thing fired up. Let's see what else he has to be tested on. Yeah, the white level test at 1,000 lumens. That has to be done. I got to go pick that up out of storage. I don't have my 1,000 lumen projector here. I got to go pick that up. Ultra short though demonstrations, and keep in mind you're going to have to be to produce as you claimed. Well, there's nothing there at all, period. So I guess when anyone looks at this product for tests, I guess we're the only one's going to be popping up. So as you can see, we're on his account here. There's nothing there. I told you what he was going to do. He was going to basically try to lash out at us. Lashing out at me is not going to help you at all, period. Because again, none of your stuff is tested at all. The only thing I dread right now is buying the CINEMAX. The reason why we're buying the CINEMAX, he did a fake demonstration. We claimed this product pulled a higher white level, which is something you don't want with a gray screen. You want the opposite. You want a contrast level. But anyway, we're going to get it down here. We're going to test it against the Amazon Slip Silver, Bare Silver Screen, a network grade 773. And we're going to make that product that he shows you how to make for free, the Metallica Mix 2.0, 2 scoops of black paint into white paint. We're going to make that and see how that matches. The hybrid mix, we're going to be running tests through, same tests. And also, too, what else do we have? I'm not bothering with the, wait a minute. We're going to have to pick those up. The UV mix. The UV mix we got to pick up because I want to put the UV mix side by side to this other product and see how close they match. Mind you, Jaime's capability in making darker technologies is not good at all, period. They're only off by a little bit. He can't actually make a black screen. He doesn't have the capability or knowledge to do so. We actually know this because we gave him the opportunity to try to make one, and he couldn't do it. He kept coming up with these dark gray screens. So that's all he can do. That's as far as he can go. That's it. All right, well, I did give you the opportunity. I did. I gave you 1 week. You didn't follow through, and we knew you weren't going to do the test because you don't have the capability to do the test because the products are fake. That's why you couldn't do the test. So I'll basically, next week, we'll start the process of putting orders through. Now, I strongly advise you, do not commit postal fraud again, because if you do, like I said, I've got the application right here with the United States Postal Service Fraud Division. You file that, you send me anything over that doesn't even look right to what I purchased, anything, any changes, anything. And I guarantee you, Jaime, you'll have 3 accounts of post office mail fraud. You know, if you have 1 account, that's considered to be extremely serious. 2 accounts, they got to come. They're going to come get you, but it's going to be a faster process with 2 accounts. But 3, there's nowhere in the world, whatever lawyer you get at the end of the day, there's nowhere in the world you're going to be to talk that judge out and not give you getting jail time out of that. He's going to get some jail time. Now, just so you know, because we know how Jaime works. Jaime does sneaky, dirty things. You got to think about the dirtiest, sneakiest thing a person can do, and you got to add it to Jaime. Let me clear this up so basically you don't do anything stupid. If you ship this by another carrier, you'll be hit with post office mail fraud. Anything that comes through the mail doesn't have to be United States Postal Service. It can be UPS, FedEx, doesn't make a difference. If it's transferred through the mail, it's considered to be mail fraud. So you understand it. So you don't try to send us down a black paint or something weird and use somebody other than United States Postal Service thinking that this is not going to get you in trouble. No, it's called mail fraud, which means it doesn't make a difference what carrier it is. It's still considered to be mail fraud. That's what it is. So whether this letter is going to United States Postal Service or whatever it's going to, it's all considered mail fraud. So don't even try that. Don't even think about it. We already knew if we were going to do something like that, we're going to nip you in the butt already. And I can always go back to this video and say, look, we made this clear to him. Don't do this. And he did it anyway. Let me see. What else we got? Anything else? This joker may try. Let's see. And if you feel that we know your product doesn't work. We know it doesn't work. If you feel that your product cannot do what you said it can do, then you put my money back into my account. That's what you will do. If you decide to sit on it, and he's done this, he'll sit on the order and act like it never existed, I will go through PayPal. I will follow the proper complaints, and we always request one thing. We request the item. We don't request the money. It's up to you whether you send us the money or the item. You got 10 days once the complaint goes through. Now, keep in mind, this will be number 20. Number 20 of you filing complaints against me, of me filing complaints against you, but you didn't win any. I won every single one of them. That tells you right there from the door that PayPal will believe me over him because, again, PayPal considers him to be a little shady. He's never won, not one against me. I won every single one of them. And this will be number 20 that we will receive of orders that you will actually return back to our account. James, I'm going to make this quite embarrassing. I'm going to order everything on your website and you will return every dime back to my account because you cannot back this up. If you decide to basically mail fraud, I will file a mail fraud complaint on every single item that comes over here that's not what it's supposed to be. Now, it's a shame we have to say this to him because he doesn't know how to do business. When he ordered the 2.0, there were no special containers or none of that nonsense. It got shipped the same container we ship everybody else. It was shipped to you as I claimed, as I said, it was going to be shipped to you on Monday. As a matter of fact, tracking number was supposed to be on Monday. We got it to him on Saturday. He got it shipped out on Monday, and we got a signature confirmed saying that he received the product. So I did exactly what I was supposed to do, as I always do. But when you do business with you, we got items coming in here with different paint colors in them and changing the shopping carts at the last minute, stuff like that. That's what we have to deal with him at the end of the day. I literally have to go to other people to buy this stuff to make sure it doesn't come in all faulty or messed up or something's wrong with it. That's what we deal with. And this is what's going to get you another post office mail fraud. So I'll be ordering directly from here. I know your address. I know where you live at. So we'll ship it right to you. Till then, I have another one coming in from the United States Postal Service or whatever carrier you choose to use. I'll basically go through them and I'll basically fill out the proper paperwork that needs to be done to follow those complaints. This one's going to be filled out. I have your address, so all your information is going to go on there. You're going to know what's going on. You do know, Jamie, that once this goes through, you cannot basically ship anything out to the United States Postal Service because now you are actually under investigation. So that means that you will no longer be to use United States Postal Service anymore until the investigation is complete. And as far as they're concerned, we have enough evidence to prosecute. That's why I said he'd have been better off just going in and just not shipping the item out. Just give us back our money. He did it like 16, 17 times. I don't even know why he even went down that road. That was just really stupid to do altogether. Let me see here. Now I told you, once this document is completed, once we get that letter back saying that you're in the process of being prosecuted, I'll be taking this to PayPal, their legal department over there, and saying, look, this is a problem. We went through this particular individual. We got items shipped in that weren't correct. He used and abused the PayPal system in order to basically send us a faulty item twice. And this is basically showing, and they already know already from the door because they're the ones that actually gave us we won the complaint that we filed against him for him sending us a fraudulent product that didn't exist. So they already know already from the door. So we're going to show them, look, we went a step farther. We filed through the United States Postal Service and 2 claims against them. And we would like to seek action for you guys to basically terminate the account or basically put an suspension or put a hold on the account to the investigation is further because he did commit fraud against our company. Yeah, got yourself in some trouble. And you got that limited liability. You don't have an LLC anymore because that's not there anymore. So that's not going to cover your butt. You don't have that anymore. I told you he never filed for the paperwork. It was never done. That's a very, very serious document that needs to be done. And he never filed it. Never filed it. Let me see. So there's no test on the product. So that's good because I don't want to make a statement, say something out of my mouth that's not true. So there's no test on it. I guess we're the only ones. No one is buying that product. He claims people are buying it. If they're buying it, then we should see some customer reviews pop up on it. I can't find any, not one person. And anybody who buys it, we're no dumb enough to buy something out of a shopping cart that doesn't even freaking exist. The SKU numbers don't even match the product. They go someplace else. Well, let me see. I want to go to, let me see. I got copies of these videos already. So I got your tracking number information. We ordered the products from you. I went through PayPal and got all that information, all the transactions, all that's being sent over because we did all this through PayPal. So they get all the transaction numbers. PayPal's complaint, which found in our favor, and everything from the shopping cart, everything is there. It's all there. So it's enough. And even the unboxing video, which is the most important part of it all, because it actually shows us receiving the item, opening up the item, and showing that the item basically was he committed fraud. And then he signed his name all over the packages. So yeah, it's an open and shut case pretty much. Let me see. I need Now, the criminal charges, Don't, Jamie, that we haven't forgot about. Told you, things take a process, take time. I had to go to the FBI, so I can't go to the police because it's considered to be an online crime. So I had to go to the FBI. They're going to swear the warrant for your arrest. So I had to go through them. I had to go to the website. I put all the information in. I had to put it in the police officer's file. I had to file the complaint through the Allentown Police Department and the detectives unit, and I had to put all that information in, and now that's being filed and taken care of. From there, they're going to go from there and start the investigation, and then from there, end up with the judge, and then they're going to file for a warrant for your arrest. So we haven't forgot about it. Don't think because things slow down and you don't hear me say anything about it, there's nothing to say about it. The paperwork's been done, it's been filed. I move on to the next thing. When they contact me and tell me that, they need more information, I just provide them with the information, that's all. But all these documents and things that are going on have already been filed. It's a matter of time before someone's going to be showing up at your front door for your arrest. Let me see what we got here. So, yeah. So this is one of them. This is the case ID number we have. This is from whatchamacallit, from PayPal. There's a case number at the bottom. That's the number we had to pull up to get the PayPal, so PayPal can pull all the documents up that we needed on that particular case of the mail fraud. So right about here, there's a little number. I had to use my magnifying glass just to see it. There we go. You see that little number right there? That number right there is basically your case ID number. So all I have to do is go in and contact PayPal and say, hey, look, this is a case. We're filing a mail fraud charge against this individual. Let's see. Oh, we got plenty of time. We got 5 years to execute. This happened on December the 29th of 2021. I got 5 years to get you. I'm getting you now. So, yeah, we give them the case number, which I did. They went and they pulled it up. They pulled everything up. And it's okay. Here it is, Mr. Bird, tracking number, information, your transaction ID, how you paid for it. Everything is there. So all we have to do is fill that into this application over here. Then they're going to request any videos, pictures, anything we may have proven the theory. We send them a video or basically a link where you can do video or basically a flash drive, send all that over, and they can go in there and they can watch the unboxing video, and they can go in there and look at the transaction and receipts and everything we got through PayPal. Also, they can look at PayPal's complaint and final decision where you were found guilty. Now, like I said, before going down this step, this is a very serious charge. I did go to an attorney first, and I did go talk to somebody I know that works at the post office. If he had sat there and said, no, you don't got enough evidence to basically, go against this person, or if the lawyer said the same thing, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. I have more than enough. Most people who file for mail fraud usually don't have an unboxing video. They don't. They get the item. Most people, they get the item and they open it up and then they find it's not what it's not. But no one knows exactly what happened in between the time of them getting the item and basically opening it up at the door. And this is where can become a gray area. This is where you have problems. But on our half, it's a little different. We did an unboxing live demonstration and we opened up that package on camera. Now, see what I mean when I talk about it's a nail in the coffin? He's done. That's it. On top of that, and the other one, we recorded the shopping cart, and I clearly said in the video, I'm recording this video because just in case, I got a weird feeling this guy's going to go in and change the color of the paint and probably go into this website and manipulate the color too also, which he did perfectly. He just executed exactly as we said he was going to do it. So there's the two accounts right there. So this is the claim that we won. The case was closed in our favor against Jaime for $89 right there. $89. And he had a nerve. I'm going to see if I can get those transcripts of how he tried to come against this trans. I know what it was. He contacted and told him that he always sold a black CINEMAX. He has it on the site. And when he went, I told you PayPal will go through your website. PayPal did go through his site and found out that they found his site to be a bit fraudulent. So that's why, on top of that, he didn't have any options. There was no callers there. They go to your YouTube channel. They do their research before they come with a final decision. There's no videos. There's no demonstrations. There's nothing there at all, period. On a black CINEMAX. Doesn't even exist. We have a black CINEMAX, but you don't have one. But anyway, With that being said, he lost. And this is right here. This is what got you in trouble. Being stupid, being arrogant, being an idiot, signed his name directly to the package. This is your crow. Crow is basically what you call a what's the word for it? What they call it, a money trail. Pretty much, that's pretty much what it is. Anywhere that word pops up at, it's affiliated with him. There's the unboxing video right there. And what's going to happen is the complaint will be filed here. It'll be transferred to California. They'll be taken care of from there. You're not going to court under me. You're going to court under them. So they'll be taking you to court after this. They'll be taking you to court and prosecuting you. We won't be anywhere in that area or facility because that's not with us. That's with them. You violated their rules and their policies. They're the ones who are going to be taking you to court. So they'll transfer this over to California over there, and they will pick up the investigation from there. And while you're under investigation, your post office privileges will be terminated. Well, not terminated. They'll probably be in suspension. He'll get a letter telling him that he's under investigation for mail fraud and that basically he can no longer use the United States Postal Service anymore. Well, until they figure their investigation. Depends on how they go. They're probably going to suspend him altogether. Now, keep in mind, I had plenty of time. I could have taken care of this when it first happened. I could have taken care of this a year after it happened. I did try to give you a chance. I really did. And you didn't want to take it. You wanted to carry on and keep it up. Well, there you go. Jaime, you haven't learned anything, man. You haven't learned at the end of the day that, we can have people come to your front door. That process server come to your front door. It's not hard for me to go to the CCB right now and file a complaint against you for violation of copyrights. It's not. The reason why you don't hear anything of it is because I try to give you the opportunity to turn in a different direction. But this year, I'm following every document, every problem we've had with you, we're bringing it to court from now on. This is what we got to do because you don't know when to back down. So this has to be done. You force people to come against you. That's what you do. That's what you do. And you can't complain about what's about to happen to you. You bought this on yourself. And this is not going to look good when you go to court for the other criminal charges that you have against you. 2 accounts of criminal charges now were filed against you. And that judge is going to look into that database and see if he sees any other, I better not see. He's going to tell you, I better not see anything else in here, or you're going to have a problem on your hands. You better have any other conviction. And the post office charges are going to pop up. This is not going to go well. Even had a nerve to poke a hole in the container so it would deliberately leak. Now, once we get this final document back, I'll be contacting Wix because Wix is going to have to terminate you. They don't have a choice. They don't have an option. They're going to have to terminate your site for good. Oh well, I'm going to go fill this document out. Since I do have your address, because you do have an expired LLC up there with your information up there, it ain't going to be hard to find you. So I'm going to start the process and getting this all done. And they'll be contacting you real soon. This is why it pays people at the end of the day to make sure your products are tested. Because if anybody sat there and said, hey, the product isn't what it's supposed to be, and they file one of these charges on me, guess what? I can walk into a courtroom. I can back my product up any day of the week. And then you know what happened once I back my product up? Because if I'd done it on site, I'm pretty sure I can go into a courtroom and do the same thing with no problem. Because I would have my attorney advise me to do this. And once I win the case, I will go back in and I'll file a counter lawsuit against you for much more money that I know that you don't have at the end of the day. I'll put you in millions of dollars of debts. Because I can back myself. I got no problem. Knock yourself out. That's why none of these companies, like these big companies, don't take me to court. I can test your stuff, and they're not taking me to court because I can back my stuff. That'd be the worst thing ever happened to them. If Elite Screen or any one of those companies felt that I slandered their stuff, which we don't do, and they decide to drag me into court, hey, I'll take the publicity. I'll take my technology. I'll wash your screen out in the middle of a courtroom. How is that going to go for you at the end of the day? That's not going to go quite well, is it? Then I'm going to sue you for basically wasting my time. So that's why you have to back yourself up. Jaime can't back any of his products up. Number one, when we order, guarantee you items are going to be canceled. I guarantee you. He can't back his products up. He can sit there and say, oh, well, that's going to be funny when he sit there and say, I don't deal with scammers. That's kind of funny because you did scam a lot of people when you match house paint. So I'm not going to waste my time getting somebody to get your product down here. If I got to go through all that just to get your product down here, it ain't worth no one's time buying or even touching. The fact you haven't done the test yet shows your product's not worth touching. So again, you got one option. You cancel, put the money back in my account. I'll be ordering from where I'm at right now, so you know where I'm at and you know who's coming. You said you're going to place orders through my site. I haven't seen anything yet. We're still waiting. I haven't seen anything. Matter of fact, I've actually asked you and Danny to order from me multiple times, and neither one of y'all orders at all, period. Because, you know, if you order my products, all the slandered videos you did against my product would work on camera with no problem. That means that would make you look extremely bad. And if you went in and you falsified those demonstrations, knowing that I have a tracking number on you, I have signature confirm on you, I could easily drag you to court, back my products up, and sue you. See? But you, on the other hand, if I order from you, you will cancel my orders, put the money back in my account, or commit mail fraud because you can't back your stuff. See? So knock yourself out. Order from my site because I'm ordering from y'all's. Danny, I'm going to be picking up your product real soon. I got to pick up 2 items. I definitely got to get that black paint because I am curious why this stuff does not work with an ultra short throw projector. I don't know how that's possible. Black paint will work with an ultra short throw projector. Yeah. Oh, one of the other tests too. He said his product works at 2200 lumens. No. His product picks up 1,000, the same as house paint. House paint's going to pick up at 1,000. His product's going to pick up at 1,000. It's going to do the same thing. But I think the first 2 I'm going to order, I want the CINEMAX down here again. And the reason why, because he did that fake demonstration where he claimed that his product pulled a different level than a gray screen, not knowing that you match network gray. You know that, right? But anyway, we'll do those tests against all the products we asked him to do and he refused to do. That's if we get the product down, as if he doesn't cancel. Chances are he's going to cancel because he can't back it. And that's good. Because if you basically cancel and give me back my money, oh, this is not going to go well for you. You do know I'm going to frame this, right? I'm going to frame this. I'm going to post this everywhere that you can't back your products. This is not going to go well for you. So you have much of an option. All right, let me see. I'm going to see what Danny still does. If his site's still functional, because his site has a habit of disappearing and coming back on, because I need to get that black paint from him. And the reason why is because it said that whole ultra short throw thing, but also too, a friend of mine wants a container too, because he's going to hit it with a gain gun. He's going to see about this whole, if you paint the screen a different way, you get a completely different gain. So, we're going to test that theory out. That's why I said, don't make up fake stuff in your freaking, don't make up fake stuff in your specification sheet. This will get you in a lot of trouble. This product had better be here. I bet you better not close this website again. You got a habit of doing that nonsense. Let's see if we can figure out. Here we go. It's still open. Good. Let's go over here and see if he has this product. Because I'm dying to test this out. Black paint, like I said, black paint can pick up on ultra short throw. Let me see. The only difference is that ours pulls a higher white level. This is the test we had to do in order to prove that. So the thing I need to know about his product being a black paint, why is it having an issue with ultra short throws? Because we don't have issues with ultra short throws at all, period. As a matter of fact, I'm buying an ultra short throw. I'm buying short throw. He can pick up on short throw and ultra short throw. Let's see. We need this right here. Let's see. This is the black, right? All right, black is still there. That's good. I'll be putting in an order for that. And does he have the gray available? It's supposed to be available on the 23rd. The 23rd of October, this is supposed to be available. That's what my friend wants. He wants the gray. Also, too, I would like to get the mid-gray, too, also. And the reason why is because I'm going to put that against house paint. That's why. I'm definitely going to do a black versus black demonstration on his product when it gets here. We do a white level test, low lumen test on different forms of projectors. And also, too, like I said, his product doesn't work on ultra short throw. That is like, I don't even know how that's even possible, especially on a paint, because it doesn't have that reflective surface that's plagued by certified screens. So, no, I need to figure out why it doesn't work. I don't know how you would compare your black technology to ours, because we can run on ultra short throw with no problem. And I mean, no, we don't have to be in ambient light controlled environments. Keep in mind, when I did the on-site demonstration at the building, I was carrying around an ultra short throw under my arm. So, yeah, we pulled up everywhere in that environment with an ultra short throw. So that means your product is not anywhere in our the same as my product. That'd be no. We work on ultra short throw. You know, run on it. What the freak? What would cause it not to? That's just weird. So those you don't think I'm not saying anything out of my mouth for the sake of just saying it, it says right there. Note, not recommended for ultra short throw or short throw projectors. It won't run on it. So why? Why is that? And the weird thing about it is majority of most of the setups I go to, they have to be done with ultra short throw. It's easier because, again, you don't have a projector hitting halfway across the room and worry about people walking in front of it. It's just so convenient to do an ultra short throw display. That's one of the things I figured out when I was on site walking around the building, like, gee whiz, ultra short throw is fantastic in here. Long throw, we couldn't use that because it's hitting halfway across the room. And if you were to mount it, you know what I mean, it's a bit of a headache. So the ultra short throw is the best way to go. And this stuff doesn't work with it. And then it says it has a range gain. It has a range gain on it of 8 to, which one is it? Now, most people don't even care about the 8. Why would you even, if it has a higher gain on it, why would you even care about the 8? Who basically goes under on a gain? That doesn't even make any sense. I don't even know why you would put 2 up there. Who would even care about the lower gain? The whole purpose is to get a screen with much higher gain. So why would you have 8 to 8.5 out of the same product? That doesn't make any sense at all, period. So that's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. We'll get it over here. My buddy will hit it with the gain gun. We'll see if he basically going to paint the screen one way. Well, the weird thing about it is we don't even have any videos showing how to get the 2 gains out of the screen paint. There's none there. If we click on this one, it takes us back to the original video of how to paint the screen. It doesn't say anything about you see there's no other video, right? It says nothing about gain, different forms of gain you can pick up. And I'm gonna play the video because I don't, like I said, I don't like to say things out of my mouth that are not true. Let me know if you hear anything in there. I'm gonna be working in the background. Let me know if you hear anything in there in the video that clearly says anything about 2 gains. So show you right here because I like to back everything up I say. Here's the paints. That's a black one. We'll click on this one. There's a black one. Come down here to the bottom where it talks about the 2 gains, and you'll see me click on the link. So you see I'm not doing anything that's dishonest. Right here, approximate gain range 8 to 8.885. So you should have 2 videos and a gain, some kind of system there to show exactly the approximate gain that you're picking up if this paint has that capability, slightly based upon application technique. So let's see what the application technique video is. Let's click on that. Let's scroll down. There's no videos I can see. And then you'll see one video pop up. That's it. We'll go right to the very bottom. Nothing there at all, period. So this is the only video. So let's listen to the video and let's see if there's anything in there that talks about range gain.
I'm just going to show you the application. Hey folks, Danny here at Partay. So today I'm just going to show you the application across the fixed frame screen. This is a fixed frame pine screen that I've made. I've used numerous times. This is one that has a lot of texture on it. And currently in the floor it has Polaris as the coating, and I'm going to change that out here with Sirius A. So I'm just kind of mixing up the formula, and that's something you're going to want to do, whenever you get the formula, you're definitely going to want to stir the bottom and the sides because you want to make sure that the tint, which is a powder, sometimes it'll want to settle to the bottom. So you want to make sure you get it stirred up real good. Just showing you my old beat up roller I used there. Nothing special. I wouldn't use anything. I would always recommend that you use a fresh roller. Do as I say, not as I do. I would just recommend it. I do a lot of coatings on these, so I'll use the same roller over and over and over again. But especially if you're new to this, I would definitely recommend that you use a fresh roller. And it's a 1/4 inch nap roller. You can use a 3/8. Just know that once you start getting above a 3/8 roller, you're probably going to be introducing more texture to the screen than what you would want. So just be cautionary with that. But you're going to see I'm going to pour about a big plate sized, like a dinner plate sized amount over on one side there. And then we're just going to go through the steps. And I'm doing this roll a little slowly by comparison to how I usually roll, just so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And then at the end, so you can see closer, I do a small panel where I just kind of replicate the application steps. Very easy. Only takes, I think the total time here was like 6 minutes and something to paint the screen. So it doesn't take very long at all. It's not hard. It's not complicated. It's just actually taking the material. You saw I poured it out. Taking the material and then spreading it across the screen. I'm not actually trying to paint the screen at this point. I'm just trying to make sure that I get the material spread all over the screen. Why is that important? A lot of times, especially with thick viscous paints, if you start in an area, you can pour out a good bit and start, rolling your area. But just like on a wall, you're only going to get so far, and then it starts running thin, and you're going to have to pour more. It would take much more paint to paint this if you were using just standard acrylic paint. And you're not going to get the visual results that you're looking for out of that kind of paint anyway. But essentially, taking this, and I'm just kind of moving it across the screen, making sure that I get, this screen has a lot of little divots in it from where I've cut it and done all kinds of things, and I'm trying to get just a solid, uniform kind of application on here. So I'm taking time with little pockets. When you're doing a screen like this, you've got a center bar, and then you've got your frame on the outside. Either side of this screen from the center bar is going to want to sag. So once again, one of the reasons I'm just taking the time to make sure that I get the material all over the screen, and then I'm going to go back and actually do the paint steps, which is steps 2 and 3 from the application steps that you would have in hand with your product there. So you can see I'm not doing anything kind of special, just I'm here, there, everywhere, just kind of moving it around, making sure that I get just the total surface coated. Now that I've got it coated, I'm going to come back and I'm going to use some pressure. Now you're not trying to push the roller through the screen, obviously. But what you're trying to do is just put enough pressure to really squeeze and lay that material down, spread it across your screen evenly. Now, when I say evenly, on either side of the roller, every time that you do a roll across, you're going to have a little roll line of material, and that's why we do the third step. Because you are putting pressure, it's a thin material, so as you're laying the material down with you notice I'm just going line by line here. And as you're laying the material down, you can't see it from here, but you're going to have small roll lines on either side of your roller. So we're going to want to take care of that in step 3. But step 2 is really about making sure that you don't have any of this that's just kind of pulled up somewhere, that it's all spread out evenly across the screen. Taking just a little bit of time around the edges to make sure that I don't have any lines there where the wood frame actually meets the screen. All right, so now we're going to start step 3, which is I'm just going to take the roller. I just pretty much let the roller bar lay in my hand and just kind of push it across and pull it back. And I'm going half over, and I'll show you what that means, what that looks like here in just a second, but I'm going half over each previous line just to roll out the little roll marks from where I was putting pressure on it. This is just kind of evening out the roll, just to make sure you don't have any heavy lines anywhere from your previous pressure roll. You see how fast that goes? Very quick. And then I'll just kind of touch up on some little areas there on the side, around the edges, just to make sure that we're good. This process, taking it across from one end of the screen to the other end of the screen, rather than top to bottom, avoids having any kind of lines on that middle bar. Because if you roll, say, you know, the height of the screen to the bottom of the screen, and you go across that center bar, you're always going to have a little more material on either side of that bar that'll want to dry thicker. So it's always better to go across.
AKA, no, don't go across the screen. Because you know why? I got to paint my screen that I'm designing in here is about 144 inches wide. It's big. It's a 235.1 at 168 inches. There's a big screen. Can you imagine if I had to paint that screen crosswise? Do you know how big a screen of that caliber is? It's huge. So it would basically be a freaking headache. Everybody paints the screen the same way. It's this way. This is how you paint it. I showed you before. It's really easy to do. All you got to do is pad the bar. That's it. Because when you paint over a screen, if you hit the bar and it's not padded, you will leave streak lines, permanent lines. Not permanent, but you can be painted out, but you have to prime the surface again. But anyway, you'll leave a line in the screen. It's called a bar imprint. Of course, I know all this because, again, we were doing this stuff way before he ever existed on YouTube, before he ever existed, because I was here first. But that's what you do. You pad the back of the bar. It leaves a little bit of a hill, but mind you, this is a PVC material. If you use any kind of material, it stretches right back out. I painted dozens of fixed frame screens. Just pad the bar, and you're done with it. That's it. Never paint the screen this way. Because the screen he's painting right now, he literally has to lean all the way out in order to hit the other edge. That's a headache. Now imagine doing that at 150 inch, 120 inch, a screen of that caliber. That screen's about 4 feet by 7 feet at 100 inches. You're doing 5 feet, that's 5 by 9 feet. You'll have to be to stretch all the way across. It's a headache. This guy doesn't even know what he's talking about.
Across the bar from side to
Takes
side.
too long to paint that screen. Should have had it done by now, honestly.
All right, so there's roll number one. I'm going to show you the second roll, which really kind of wasn't necessary. Now, I dried this by just putting on the fan. Took it roughly about, I think it was 12 minutes for it to dry with the fan on it. So not very long at all. And then we're ready for a second coat. So we'll just repeat the same process over again. You can see that screen's already much darker. On this one, I could have gotten away with just one roll because the Polaris was the tone underneath it. But I noticed a couple of areas where it was thin, and I wanted to go back and do my second roll. So once again, just a second roll across it to make sure that you get the material to the right color and you've got a good uniform finish across the whole screen. Again, going across that center bar. That's always kind of the primary thing for me whenever I'm doing fixed frame screens that are already existing, already got material on them, is just to worry about that bar. Now this bar is already wrecked, but I want to show you how I would approach it if I was doing a new screen, or I was doing a screen where I didn't have any kind of roll texture or anything like that, where my center bar was. This is kind of how you'd want to approach it to make sure that you keep from having one. Now you don't have to pour this out onto the screen like I did. You can use a paint tray. All I would recommend is whatever paint tray you use, make sure that it matches with your roller. And I know that seems silly, but I have had people reach out to me and say, well, I've got a 9-inch, quarter-inch roller, but
I swear, this guy literally talks like people were born under rocks. Who in their right mind would be painting and not look at the roller and look at the paint pan thinking, gee, this is not, it's going to fit? You'd buy a 3-inch paint pan for a roller that's not, are you kidding me? I mean, come on, man. I can't stand when people talk like you're supposed to be an idiot.
Paint tray is only 6 inches wide. Well, that's not made for that roller, so you would need to have a paint tray or use something
Oh,
as a
God.
paint tray to pour your paint into to be able to load
What
the
do you
roller
mean?
up.
Hmm.
You can see second coat going very simple, very easy, very quick. One of the whole points of the way that this is designed, got the hiccups, sorry folks. One of the reasons it's designed the way that it is because, look, I paint a lot, and not just, screens, but
I'm trying to get
in the
this thing.
renovation of this house, there's been a lot of painting, all kinds of things. I've painted cars, uh, got 3 friends that actually paint cars for a living. You're not going to do that with a roller, obviously.
Yes,
But the
you
point
can.
here being is that, the kind of paint that you use on a wall, it doesn't go on so simple. You'll notice you'll start doing, most people I've ever seen do zigzags. Um, and, at a point very quickly, you realize you're out of paint. You need to load your roller up again. This thin material here is set up so that it's very easy to roll across the screen. You're not having to sit and wear your arm out trying to push and squeeze paint out of your roller. There's been, I don't recommend this, but just to give you an idea of how that works, there's been a number of times where I've painted the screen and then come back and my roller still has enough material in it to almost do another coat by itself. That's how easy this stuff was.
Now, if you notice, you haven't heard anything about range gain, but yet he basically linked the video to that comment. There's nothing in there. This is just the video showing you how to paint the screen. And if you realize it just takes forever to literally paint this screen, it's insane. You know why? Because the product is so thin, is that it's streaking the daylight out of the screen. He literally has to re-roll over what he just previously rolled because he's leaving lines in the screen. And he's trying to go light enough on the roller to basically keep from these lines actually popping up on the screen. Jeez, should have been done by now, literally. You paint the screen just to saturate it. That's not the paint job. That's crazy.
Just going to get those edges and wrap that up. And then here in just a second, I'm going to show you on an up-close panel so that you can get a better idea of what I mean. If there's anybody out there that's confused, I don't think so, but if there's anybody out there confused, we want to make sure that you understand that what we're doing, folks, is making sure that you understand how this should be applied to your screen and not leaving you out there on your own without any kind of instructions or just telling you that you can paint it any way you want to. And you're going to get excellent results because as we've seen with many, I'm not just talking about Ken right now, but with other paints where you do have roll lines.
What other paints? What paints have you tested? You haven't tested Goo Screen. You haven't tested eye paint screens. You haven't tested any of them. Vox, none of them. So what other products are you talking about? You haven't tested any. None of the screen paints that they have on there on eBay. You haven't bought any of those. So I have no idea what this guy's talking about in this video demonstration. Again, you haven't even tested any certified. You have no test at all on your products. So again, yeah, let's move on.
I was at a church not too long ago where they had painted, they'd obviously mixed up some sort of gray with some sort of metallic paint, and it was glossy as all get out. But they had painted a piece of wall in a church conference room, and there were V lines all across the screen just from the roller marks. Really bad. I mean, it looks bad when you don't have an image on the screen, and when you do have an image on the screen, it looks worse. So just wrapping up our soft roll here, no pressure. What was funny about this is You know, I don't really think about this often, but when you paint so much, I guess you get really anything that you do. If you do it a lot, you should. Some people don't can get really good at it. But what you'll notice here is there's no paint on the floor. Whenever I finished, there wasn't a drop. But if you do get some on the floor, all you need is just a wet paper towel or something like that. Just you don't even have to have it super wet. Just have it damp. Now, if you drop a lot, there was a day I was walking right behind where I am right now. I was walking into the hallway, and I was carrying just.
Now, just so you know, Partay, when I order your product, I will be using my address here. As I told you before, any place I've ever lived at and laid my head, I'm not afraid at the end of the day of telling people where I live at. Every order I've ever placed to these guys had my address attached to them. They can't attach their address, especially this one won't, because he's terrified. There's no way in the world he's going to put his address on there. Danny has cases coming up. That's the reason why he can't put his address down there, because he doesn't want my people knowing where he's at. But don't worry about that. That's why I'm paying this investigator to figure out exactly where you're at. They got to trace you through your YouTube accounts, IP, whatever. At the end of the day, we'll figure out where you're at so we can prosecute you. But other than that, yeah, I guarantee you that order is getting canceled. I guarantee it's going to be canceled. But it doesn't make a difference. I got to have it either way. So I'll just contact somebody else. I'll order it first. He'll cancel it. You know what's going to happen. But I got to have his product. Definitely. Jaime, we already know his stuff is trash already. This stuff we haven't really had a chance to test yet. So just watching Silent Wake 5, not being able to produce a color off of it, I'm curious what the ultra short throw issue is. So if I can't get it and he cancels my order, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to contact a friend of mine and he'll take care of it for me. But either way, I'm getting your product.
It's a little measuring cup that I had some material in, and I was moving.
Definitely got to test that stuff out.
Set it aside and put it back in my storage area, and I dropped it, and it went everywhere. And now it was a pain just in the sense that I was frustrated and didn't feel like cleaning it up, but it cleans up super easy. Just some paper towels and a little wet paper towel, just to get up anything. But this stuff it dries fast. But even if it's dry, you're going to be able to clean it up.
All right. What Partay didn't explain to you that the thicker the paint, the less splatter effect you're going to have. So basically, if a paint's thick, that's why the more expensive paints, when you buy them at Home Depot or Lowe's, have a lot more thicker texture to them. Also, too, they have better coverage because it's a more thicker product. Now, if you're using a cheap, thin paint that looks like water at the end of the day, what's going to happen is you're going to get something called a splatter effect, which means if this thing is laying up against your wall, that paint is going to spray everywhere. And anyone's ever used cheap paint over basically good paint, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not going to hang to the roller too well. So basically, yeah, when you go to raise this thing up and you go to bring it down, it's going to spray everywhere. Because when I painted one of the rooms, I used a cheaper white paint to do the room, and there was paint splattered. It took me 3 coats to cover the thing. Where if you have a thicker product, which I did pay for in the other room, I paid $80 a gallon, which that was something special. It was a special kind of paint, really high fluorescent white paint. That's why I paid $80 for it. But anyway, if you just get basic, like Bear 1050, something like that, it's going to have 1 coat coverage. That's what it's going to have. And you're not going to have paint spraying all over the place. So yeah, you don't want a thin product. But as you can see in the demonstration, long demonstration, nothing was ever mentioned about the game at all.
Pretty quick. Now, if you left it sitting there for 5 or 6 years, it may be hard to get up. But anything within, say, an hour, a couple hours, you're going to be fine.
Anything will pick up over a couple hours.
The screen's finished there. Now we're going to move into showing you what it would look like, up close, using a small panel, just to give you an idea as to what, when I say, do a roll, then start next to where you did your preceding roll, what I mean. So here's one I've already done the first coat.
Now you see how badly that looks? That's a first coat application. You see all those little white specks coming through? That is from the screen not taken because the product was so thin that it didn't cover correctly. That's why you're seeing all those little white specks roll through. That is extremely bad. There's no way in the world that you should have a problem with a 1 coat app with a product that's designed. The reason why we don't have any instructions because it's very easy to do. You just roll it on and you're done. But look at that. Look at that. That is absolutely horrible. You should never have on a first coat application, you should never see that much gray pushing through. And the reason why? Because the coating is very, very thin. He got multiple shades popping off here. It didn't take well to the corners. And look at the middle part of it. Look at that. That is awful. Now you imagine, now keep in mind with customers, that first coat application is everything. That builds their confidence. So if they get results like this, they're not going to finish it. They're not going to do the second. They're not going to do the third because they're going to think in the back of their mind, maybe they messed it up and they don't want to go any farther, especially when you're painting this on a screen that you paid for. So what they're going to do is they're going to contact you, Partay, and they're going to ask you, why am I seeing this? They're going to question this. That's what's going to happen. And you're going to talk that mumbo jumbo to them, and you're going to explain to them that it's a multi-coat process, and they're going to get tired. There's no way in the world they're going to go through all that to paint that screen. Mind you, that screen he painted was a 4x7. You have any idea how much work it takes to paint any bigger screen? No one's going to do it. It's just too much work. You got to lighten up the roll, the first roll that you paint on. It's not the actual paint. What do you mean it's not the actual paint? They're not going to paint it. It's just too much of a headache. They want to paint it the first time, they want to get good results, and they want to be done. No one wants to sit there and spend 30 minutes painting a screen. That's just too much of a headache. So it's not going to happen. On top of that, one of the problems you have on your product, the range gain. You didn't mention anything in the video about the range gain, but yet you have a link pointing to this particular video. So your product their range gain doesn't exist.
And this is on a light. That's why I recommend it.
And because it doesn't exist, that means at the end of the day that any customer can file a have not as described against you due to the fact that your product does not prove the theory of range gain.
That you use black because you're going to use less material. This is a light gray that I painted it on. But you're going to see I'm going to do the second coat, and I'm going to show you here.
Still not hearing anything about range gain.
That's how simple it is. So, one, move the paint around. So you saw I was doing that on the screen. It's obviously going to take a little less time to do it here because this isn't screen size. Then come back and use a little bit of pressure to push. You see?
Now this is weird. You see these little beads that are popping up? That looks like from water. Oh my goodness, I just thought about this. This is the same video from no, this looks like the same video from the other one. It still has those little beads in it. What are those little beads?
I'm starting from where I left off from the previous roll. Now I'm going to go back and do my light roll, and you're going to see I come half over.
That's too much work.
Right there. So halfway across the previous line and do that across the screen.
That's just way too much work.
It's that simple. That's it. I'll there's our screen. I'm going to take it.
That looks awful. Hold on for a minute. He has these beads all over the screen.
That's it. There's our.
Look at this. You can still see the gray parts pushing through. That's what it is. Look at this. What is that? All over the screen. You can literally see the gray parts pushing through the screen. Right there. And I don't know what the heck this is very, very messed up. Yeah, that thing is a hot mess. That's supposed to be it. Oh my goodness, it's horrible. Well, anyway, as you can see, there's no range gain. It doesn't exist. And as you can see, this is the final product of his screen painted in. You can literally still see the gray pushing in on the opposite side. And you see these lumpy areas, these chunky areas, these little bubbles or whatever these are. That is probably the powder that was in there that didn't mix correctly, and it came out clunky, came out really chunky or whatever. It didn't dissolve right. That's what that looks like. It looks like someone has spit like some kind of dry powder on the screen, but yeah. Look at this. How do you paint a screen and you get something that bad? Yeah, when I get it over here, we do the testing, chances are we probably won't. Chances are he's going to cancel the order. That's what's going to happen. I'll order it first. He'll cancel the order. I know he is. He can't back the product up. And then we'll just get somebody else to get it. With Jaime's stuff, pretty much I'm going to put the order through. He's going to cancel anyway. So I'm probably going to going to get somebody to get the order for me. That other mix he has, that fake mix, we're going to definitely get that over here, because that's what's going to happen. They can't back their products. They're definitely going to cancel. But that looks grimy.
Screen, I'm gonna take it. I took it outside on the back porch for it to dry because the sun was out.
That's
so
done.
You can see that's the dried end result.
See that shine coming off of it? Oh, this would explain why it doesn't work. Oh, okay, I see it now. I got it. I see why it doesn't work with ultra short throw. I can see why. I literally didn't see that the first time I saw the demonstration. That's why. You know why? Because the screen is coming up glossy. It's going to hot spot like crazy. Look how much shine is pulling off the screen. You don't want that in a projection screen application. That's extremely bad for it to shine like that. Nope, you don't want that. So I don't know what kind of painting technique, or it's not even a painting technique. The product just has a glossy shine to it. That means there's something in there that's making it look like that way. Oh. This is just strictly theory. I'm just going on strictly theory here. There could be a reason why that powder didn't dissolve, because there could be an oil substance in it that causes it to separate. That could be it right there. That could be it. But that shine, I've never seen a flat paint do that ever. A glossy will do that. Yeah. Anything with a sheen or shine would do that. Anything with any kind of oil in it, because remember, we made that free mix he made, and this stuff had Vaseline in it, and it had the same reaction that when we went to hold it up to the light, it gave off that same kind of shine. This would plague the daylights out of an ultra short throw. A short throw, this would cause the screen to hot spot really, really bad. That's the reason why the products don't run on ultra short throws, because of that shine right there. That'd be the reason why you're seeing the bubbles pop up in the paint. You're seeing the product not take well, because it's kind of like trying to, like, you know, when you pour oil and water, it's just a separation there. And the reason why that powder, when you mix it up in there, didn't take well, because there's an oil in there somewhere. See that shine? You don't want that on a projection screen. That's the last thing you need. This is why hot spots.
Nice, kind of thin finish there.
Yeah, you don't want that. That's bad. That's really bad. That would definitely cause the screen to hot spot like crazy. Right there, look at that.
And then next I'm going to take it in just to show you that it actually matches the large screen that I just painted.
Now keep in mind, if it's reflecting from a window all the way over here, imagine an ultra short though sitting on top of it less than a foot at 3,000 lumens. Yeah, it's going to hotspot. It probably won't work with venues either. Or we'll hit it with the high-end venues over here and see how it reacts.
Nice, kind of thin finish there. And
yeah.
Next, I'm going to take it in just to show
there
you
is,
that it actually matches. Nice, kind of thin finish there.
Right there. There's imperfections that popped up all over the screen. See right there? That's an imperfection right there. See those big lines, those lumps in the screen? See right there, that rough texture right there? Yeah, that's what you want on your projection screen that you paid a lot of money for. You want to sit there and have this kind of imperfection all over the screen. That's extremely bad. Ugh, I'm not painting that thing. I'm going to get myself a piece of, I don't know, wood and paint that on, because I wouldn't paint that on anything. I'm messing my stuff up.
And then next, I'm going to take it in just to show you that it actually matches the large screen.
Now, keep in mind, not only are we seeing these imperfections on the product along with him, because I'm ordering both of them from both people, but also, too, how long it took him to paint the screen. And again, you have never heard him say once anything about the range gain, ever. So why would you have it linked to that?
That I just painted. So there you go.
Now, you see the bad part here? You see these dark shadows in the corner? This you're not supposed to be having. See how they cascade over here? Right here, these dark shadows. That screen has narrow viewing cone effect. That's what the narrow viewing cone is. That's when you get these really dark edges around your screen and it's bright in the middle. That's called narrow viewing cone.
So very easy application, folks. If you run into any snags, you have any questions.
See it again? See the dark areas right up around here? See how it's lighter up in here and it's dark in here? It's called narrow viewing cone effect. That's what it's triggering off.
Feel free to email me at partaav@gmail.com. And with that, I think we've got enough material for people to be able.
Here it is again. See how dark it is around these corners right here? It's the narrow viewing cone effect.
To paint this in a way that gives them a really refined finish. So thank you for your purchase, and you guys take.
See how it's dark right around the corners? Look at the corners, how dark the corners are, and look how it's bright in the middle. Yeah, and he has very little light. There's no light in the environment. Look at this. This is the environment he showed it off in. You got a light over here in the corner. That's blocked because there's no light hitting that. And the screen, the way it's pushed out, it's nowhere near the light. The screen's actually hitting, the light's hitting the back of the screen because you can see where the couch and all this is dark right here. So there's no light in the environment at all. So he painted this screen in, put it in an environment that was dark. You can see none of the lights are in here. And the screen still had an issue picking up an image properly because it did a narrow view and went dark around the corners. You guys at the end of the day are selling junk. You guys sell junky paints. How come you don't have that in a fully lit environment at all, period? And you got it sitting right on the floor as always. Oh, gee whiz Louise, I swear. And nothing mentioned about this angle gain, this range gain. See, there you go. So where was it? Did you see it in there? Anything about range gain? Nothing at all. Nothing at all, period. Told you. They lied to y'all. Jaime gets on there and he lies to you and tells you that the product at the end of the day does this and does that, and it does none of that at all, period. At all. Not a thing. Nothing that it says it's designed to do. Nothing in the specification sheet. Not a thing. And this guy comes in there and tells you about range gain, points you to the direction to watch an entire video that says nothing about it at all whatsoever. Yeah. And on top of that, you watch the screen get really, well, that's going to definitely cause the screen hotspot like crazy. But anyway, you saw the screen get off a kind of a shiny gloss, which you do not want in a projection screen. You want it as flat as possible, but you do not want to get a hotspotting. You also notice that the screen came up, I pulled up a very horrible texture to it. It didn't mend well. And as you said, just painting the screen, you could see these kind of bumpy little like chunks of powder that didn't mix well. You watch Solid Wave 5 shake this container up viciously and it never changed the color. You know why? Because there's something in there causing the product to separate, and I guarantee it has something to do with oil, because he puts oil in a lot of his stuff. All right, gentlemen, I'll be buying your stuff next week. I do expect for Partay to cancel. We do expect that, so I'm probably going to have 2 cancellations from you. And we do expect for Crow to cancel out too. So just going to get my money back either way. But anyway, I'll have my cancellations as always, because you can't back your products up. And both of you can scream and whine at the end of the day. We don't deal with scammers. But the funny thing about that, you guys are the scammers. Yeah, we're just trying to get your products over here for testing. But feel free to buy from me. I have no problem. I will ship that stuff right to your front door with no problem whatsoever, with a signature and firm attached to it, like I did the last one, Jaime. And if you actually want to do something dumb and send me down something that's not right, well, I'll file another one of these on you, okay? I got to finish the paperwork on this one right now. Got to go. Thank you all, and God bless.